Alright, welcome to Mac Helpers. In this video, I'm going to show you from how to use Pages, how to create a document from scratch. I'm going to show you every single thing that you really need to do when creating a basic document. Now, if you just follow along with me, you can actually do the same exact things I'm doing, or if you actually have a paper or a project that you're working on for work or school, you can actually kind of follow along right with me. And the biggest thing I'm going to show you is for all those people that are Microsoft Word lovers, I'm going to show you and hopefully switch you over to the Apple side with Pages. I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to create a document with Pages and export it to Microsoft Word so you can use it on a computer, or if that's what your teacher or your work requires, it's going to be really easy. So let's go ahead and start. Go ahead and open up Pages. We're just going to create a basic document. So I'm not going to use any templates on this one because I want to show you how to start one from scratch, but let's go ahead and just click on basic landscape document, or I'm sorry, not landscape, portrait, but let's just do, let's say I had to do a paper on the history of the Eiffel Tower, and so it looks like I spelled Eiffel wrong. Let's see. So I double tapped it because the red squiggly line means it's spelled wrong, and so the reason it picked it out is because I did spell it wrong, and I needed to add an I and capitalize it. So the history of the Eiffel Tower. So this is going to be kind of my main title. So what I want to do first is make this actually look like a title. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that first word, highlight that whole section, and then I'm going to come over here to the paintbrush. And Apple's already got a bunch of styles and everything set up, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on title. I think that looks pretty good. The only thing that I want to change is I want to make it centered. And so since it's already pretty long, it's going to look like the whole thing, so maybe I want it, no, I just like it bold. So I'm going to leave it at that. But let's say I don't like how I want to capitalize this whole thing because it is a cover, or your title, not your cover, but your title. So go ahead and change that. So that looks pretty good right there. I mean, pretty basic. So let's get Siri to help us out. Siri, show me the Wikipedia page for the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, I found this.
So this is some basic information, but I'm going to go ahead and look at the full article. So it's going to go ahead and open it up in the Wikipedia for me. So it looks like we've already got it here. I'm just going to take this first group of text right here. So just hold that. Scan this whole section. So sometimes depending on how the page is set up, it looks like it's going to copy this picture, but we'll see how it looks. We can always edit it in the page. So I clicked copy, and we're just going to multitask. So I'm going to just a 4-finger swipe up. Now it brought me back to this page. So there's the font bar. I'm going to go ahead and go down. Now see how the size of the little bar right there, the font bar just changed sizes because it's going to automatically think that this is going to be the body of the text. So I'm going to go ahead and click paste. And as you can see, it pasted it all there, but it looks kind of messy. So just kind of looking at this, it looks like probably one of the paragraphs definitely ends there. And then I'm assuming the other paragraph probably ends right after this one right here. So, yep, because that's why I had to hit return twice. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Let's go ahead and, how the French say it, let's go ahead and delete that part out. I'm just kind of showing you all the different stuff you can do with that. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to go back through our book and look at all these different things. So to kind of clean it up a little bit more, I'm going to tab there, click here, tab it over, go ahead and delete that number 2 out of there. Hit return again. Let's go ahead and scroll down to that one, tab it over. So far it looks like we got a pretty good stuff here. So what's funny is that Wikipedia has it as meters, but it's still meters, but in America, in our version of the English language, we spell meters a little bit differently. So even though that's actually still spelled correctly, I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the United States English version of it. Just like we're saying an 81-story building, we wouldn't actually spell it like that. So but they don't even really give a good example of what that would actually be. So this would actually be 81-story building. Yeah, I guess that would be right. 81-story building. Boom. Okay, so go ahead and fix that one as well. Meters. Well, so that's actually is spelled correctly, even though the Pages doesn't understand it, but that's okay. So far we got a good amount of stuff. I mean, if this was an actual paper, you wouldn't want to be doing exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just doing this to show you guys how to do this. So the next thing is I want to get a picture of the Eiffel Tower. So I'm going to do a 4-finger swipe back over to this, and let's go ahead and take this image here. So I'm going to, it's actually loaded it for me, but I'm just going to click and hold onto it, copy the image. Now let's go right back to the page and let's go ahead and paste it in here. So let's make some space, paste. Oh, we copied the link. So we don't want that to actually happen. So let's go ahead and back and show you how to do this. So I'll go to Save Image. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to hit this plus button right there on the top right, and like before, go to the media thing, and you can see how in my camera roll it's already saved there. So bam, it already placed it in there, and I could kind of move it around as I see fit. And let's say I wanted to kind of keep it over there, like I want to just maybe do this whole thing right here, so that looks pretty good. But I want to maybe just spice up the image a little bit. So let's see how Insta Alpha works on this thing. I'm going to make sure it's not going to be deleting any of the actual pyramid, or the pyramid, what am I talking about? Actually, the tower itself, but that's a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a little bit more fancy with it. Let's keep the bushes there. Let's go ahead and scan a little bit more of that out, a little bit more of that, and a little bit more blue down there. And let's get that stuff in the middle, and this little bit there. So that looks pretty cool. You can, I mean, I'm just doing this pretty quickly, but you can see how like somewhere above the tower it's kind of faded out a little bit. But see how it automatically is moving the text kind of all over the place. So to change that, go back up to your paintbrush tool, and we're going to go under the Arrange tab and go to Wrap. And so we're going to go with, right now it's automatic. Let's go do Around. And then we're going to add extra space so it doesn't, make sure it doesn't go on the right hand side here. So let's go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. And so see how it's still moving that over there on the right hand side, and that doesn't look very good. So let's go ahead and go to, looks like we're going to make it as, see, if you guys ever get not sure how it's going to look, just start playing around with it. And let's go to inline with text. See, that doesn't look very good. That's just going to automatically put it right in there. And let's say above and below. I still don't really like that. I think around is the best, but what we're going to want to do then, if it's going to be like that, what we'll do is increase this size again. Oh, see, it deleted all that size out of there. So let's get that 36-point font. See now how it's kind of doing that, where it's not allowing that other stuff to go around to that right side of it. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good, I think. So let's kind of zoom out and see how that's looking. I think that's looking pretty good. So we got a basic rundown of that. Now we need some more information. So let's go back to our Wikipedia page. I'm going to go back there, and let's see what else is going on. So let's say I want, let's get some of this origin stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and copy this stuff, because I think this is going to be pretty interesting, especially if we're doing a page on the a document on the history of it. So let's go ahead and scan all that. Yeah, that looks good. So copy that. Oops. Go back over to here, and let's go ahead and I'm tapping here, tap and hold. That brings up a little bar there. So now it's got that, but doesn't look, now we're on a couple pages, but it doesn't look very good. So let's go ahead and kind of space this out and kind of get this looking good again. So it looks like a paragraph there. Go ahead and space that out. Oh, it looks like there was a quote, so we'll tab that in, and we'll go ahead and return that. And so to make this kind of look like the Wikipedia page, let's actually make this look like it's a real quote and make it kind of stand out a little bit more. So make sure we get the whole thing there. And what we're going to want to do is click the detail bar again. And no, so our choices aren't there, so we're actually going to click on Layout. And actually, I'm sorry, not Layout, but List. And see these little buttons up here? This is going to be your indent button. So we'll go ahead and click the indent. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh, see, it's already kind of, the only problem is it's still all the way to the right. So see this little arrow up here on the top right? I'm going to actually slide that over as well. And it's only going to affect the stuff that is highlighted at that point in time. So I think that looks pretty good actually. Maybe I want to slide that over a little bit more. I think that looks pretty good actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Now let's go ahead and do something fancy with that too. So what would you do next? That's right, we're going to go up to the paintbrush tool again. And so this time, let's go ahead and click on the style. We'll go ahead and increase the size of that. And let's say we wanted to make it a, let's say we want it to be red, like a dark red. That looks pretty good. And let's change the font on there. Let's go to, noteworthy sounds good. And let's go ahead and center that as well. Actually, no, I kind of like it over there left. Let's bring up this stuff, though. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think all of that stuff's looking pretty good. I mean, this is, you guys would spend more time really messing around with this if you're actually typing out your own paper, but I'm just kind of giving you guys some ideas. So the next thing I want to do is, let's go ahead and go back to our Wikipedia page. So what I just did was a four-finger swipe back and forth to the right and left. And let's go ahead and let's get this first drawing picture up here. Go to save. Oh, we'll go try that again. I'll save my image. And that little bounce means I swiped the wrong way. So let's go here. And where they're talking about it here, let's go ahead and add that image again. Or add a new image. So let's add this one. Okay, so that's nice and big. I don't think I want to make it that size. So to readjust it, you just click up here and just kind of drag up from that blue corner. And let's go ahead and, yeah, let's see how that's looking. It's kind of, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's see how this first drawing is of the Eiffel Tower by Maurice Koechlin. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. This is going to be cool. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm actually going to copy it, and then I'm going to hit the delete button. I kind of like the space there. But okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a text box. So basic text, and then I'm actually going to paste what I just copied from just a second ago. Yeah, so that looks good, but I'm gonna center this. Oops, to center it, you gotta highlight it, you gotta tell what to center. So that looks pretty good. Now let's move this and let's see if we can do this with it. Yeah, and so it automatically, you saw that line there? It automatically, oh, it's not liking that because that whole size there. So I'm gonna shrink that up a little bit, and I'm gonna put that right there. And see how that yellow line snapped in there? That just means that it's centered along with that image. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good like that. And what you could always do is shrink this up a little bit more so it's going to fit nicely onto that page. And what that means, that little plus sign means, it means there was actually some more space in that image or in this text box. So to get rid of that little plus sign, you do it like this and just delete that line out of there. See, now that blue little line went away, that little blue plus sign. It just means we removed all that space out of there. So everything's looking good so far. Now for some reason this looks like it's almost off a little bit in terms of the size there, but no, it was just fine. And so I just deleted it and I fixed it that way, but I can click undo or undo. And so that's looking pretty good. All that I like. And so the next thing I want to do is I want to just make it a little bit more fancy. So I saw this part which was pretty cool, where they talk about the record height. So I'm going to just take that. I'm going to copy this whole table here. Copy that, and let's go back over to our page. So I know I've copied a table. So when you're copying tables and stuff like that, it's kind of beneficial to know kind of a little bit more about it. But you should be able to look at it pretty easy. So I'm going to pick this. I like that one. So I'm going to click in this first thing and I'm going to hit paste. And look how it automatically did all this stuff for me. So I only had 2 lines of it, so I don't need this one. So I'm going to click up here, delete that line. Click there again on the next one, hit the delete there. So now it's kind of automatically spacing this apart for me. But as we can see, if we go back to, if we go back to this, see how it automatically kind of it didn't put the two. It noticed that there was, where it says type and observation tower. It knows, even though it doesn't have the lines there, it knows those are different cells. So what we could do here is, I'm gonna go ahead and, it's centered, but I'm gonna click this one. Oops. What I'm trying to do here is I'm just going to try to center this. Whoops, battery's almost low. But what I want to do here is I want to try to merge these cells here. Maybe it's not going to allow me to do that. But so I mean, it's looking pretty good just as of right now. It's kind of automatically changed those things for me. So I want to change this a little bit more. I want to stylize this a little bit more. See how the blue dot came down here in the right corner where that says the Société d'Exploration de la Tour Eiffel, the SETE. So I'm going to click on that. So see how they've got the table. I'm going to go table options. So alternating rows. See now how it added the colors in between there. And then I'm going to go to, I'm going to change the font. Let's do something cool. Let's go with like a papyrus. That looks kind of cool. And go back there. Let's make the font a little bit larger and make it a little bit easier to read. And I think that's looking pretty good to me. So, the reason it's, maybe I want to go back to a smaller size because see how it kind of moved it onto a separate page. Actually, let's just bring this onto a whole page by itself. So I'm going to click, and then I'm just going to bring it down. See where it's at. Okay, so it's still on the other page. See that's kind of one thing that Apple still hasn't worked out all the way, is that it doesn't want to put that on the next page because there's no text on this next page. So an easy way to do that is just hit return a bunch of times, and now we're on to the next page. Oops, I didn't want to do all that. I just want to grab this and bring it onto this next page. So bam. And so that yellow line means it's centered on this page. So that's it still looks too big, and it looks like we actually have an extra line here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete on that. And since it's still not fitting onto one page, you can kind of see where it's ending. But let's go ahead and we can make this a little bit wider. That which might help. Let's see if that changes anything. Kind of not really. It's still too big for one page. So the biggest thing we could do, right off the easiest I should say, is let's go ahead and go back to our table options and let's make this font smaller. And let's see how that did. Nope, still not on the same page. But I mean, so we can look at like a row like this where it doesn't really have anything, so it's going to be more of a headline kind of page. So I'm going to click this, and actually it's not allowing me to do that because I think I've got it set up as constrain the table. Well, maybe not. But so I'm going to go ahead and let's say I don't need this one. Delete that out of there. Design and construction. So this just talks about the different things. I don't need that. We got enough information there. Let's look at. It was used as a radio broadcasting tower. So see how these things were combined. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this information, and I'm going to paste it up here with this because that's where it should be anyways. Paste. So then I could just delete this whole row actually. Whoa. Delete that whole row out of there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this row too because I don't really care if I have that on there. So it looks like we're almost on a single page by itself, and we are. So that's a huge plus. Now it looks like we have plenty of space. Oh, not anymore. So let's bring that back up. So there's that little line right there. That's the top of the page. So, oh yeah, that's easily fitting onto one page. And so let's just say we wanted to do one more picture on there to kind of sum up the document. Let's say we got this little fancy guy right here. Let's save that image. Oh, that's right. And let's go ahead and click back to our media, and let's put this little fancy guy there. So I think that's looking pretty good for our document. Now, I mean, you're always going to want to add more information, but I think this kind of gives you just a basic idea of how to change all these things. And now, since let's say you're all set and done with this, to share it, or if you guys that are looking to use Microsoft Word, you can share it in a couple different ways. You could send as a copy, share a link via iCloud, or open in another app. And so what we're going to do is send as a copy. Actually, we're going to change that actually. And we are going to okay, so what we're going to do is you can share a couple different ways, but if you wanted to share it as a Microsoft Word document, all you're going to do is hit open in another app, and it's going to give you 4 choices to go from. Pages is what you're in kind of now, PDF, Word, and EPUB. So if I want to ship this as a Microsoft Word, I'm going to click Word. And it's going to be creating it as a blank 6. So I'm going to click cancel because we didn't even change the title on here. That's embarrassing. I'm going to click over here, go back to documents, go back to the main thing, and I'm going to tap there and I'm going to say history of Eiffel Tower. Done. So now I changed the title of that. Open that back up. Now let's go ahead and click share, open another app. And let's go ahead and click Word. It's going to convert it real quick, and then it's going to say choose app. And since we don't really have anything, I'm just going to go ahead and, if you had a Dropbox, you can go ahead and click open in Dropbox. And then it's going to bring up your document here, and you got it your docx, so you click save, and then you could ship it directly from there. And let's go ahead and click email, and then it's going to ask you to mail it. So see how it automatically kind of changed around with some of those things. So if you open it up in your Word document, you might have to change a few things, but for the most part, it should work well. So yeah, that's just go ahead and send a copy. You can go ahead and click mail, and it also brings up your different options of how you want to send it. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, and I think if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at info@yourmachelpers.com, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/machelpers, and go ahead and send us a email or post a message on our wall, and we'll get back to you right away. Thanks for checking us out.